Yeah.
I actually watched the when you was a guest on Scott Miller's podcast.
Right.
I thought you were incredible on it, to give you some
Thank you.
credit. I genuinely thought it was such an incredible episode. So I will also I'll link that down below, and of course the TEDx talk and the extras too. Is there a common framework or go-to that you use to help these leaders improve, either just in their role or even specifically for their communication?
Yes, there's a specific framework, a model that I've created, which I can talk to. But if on a more macro level, in terms of the order of things, I believe that to improve your ability to communicate with anyone else, you first need to improve your ability to communicate with yourself.
Yeah.
And I can explain my thinking behind that. And then also more broadly, to improve your relationship with life. That entails every aspect: the relationship with your partner, your children, your team, your community, your relationship with nature, with animals, with anything, your relationship with life. To improve that, it's got to start with you. You need to improve your relationship with yourself. And the reasons for this is that your whole experience of whatever objective reality is, so the reality that you are a part of, your environment, your experience of that, your version of this reality, this objective reality, all takes place in your mind. You can only perceive everything in your mind. So all of the bits of information that are available to us that tell us that there is actually an environment around us, that tell us that there's a table here in front of me and that there's a laptop, that tell me that I'm breathing, and also internally what my body temperature is and all the stuff. All of that information comes to us in bits, sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. And we collate those bits of information and we represent them as this visual auditory hallucination in our mind. So if your whole experience of life, of reality, is in your mind, then how can the quality of your mind not matter? The quality of your mind matters. And the quality of your mind has a lot to do with your relationship with self, because it's all reflective. It's all trying to make sense of everything from my point of view. This idea that I exist somewhere inside my head and I'm the subject in the middle of this big play and I'm in the middle of it all. This illusion of duality is how we comprehend life, right? And our relationship with self is our relationship with the past. One of my teenage boys, when kids say things, really wise things, and they don't even fully understand how wise they're being. And my older boy, we love having deep philosophical conversations.
All about it.
He said to me one day, he goes, "Dad, if we had no memory, we would have no sense of self. We would not even know who we are." And I'm like, spot on. Your whole idea of me, of existence, of ego, of identity is all to do with your relationship with the past. And the more you hang on to, the less resolved you are with the things that have occurred and your stories around it. The less resolved you are, the more stuff you're hanging on to, the more shit you've got in this big bag of hang-ups that we carry around with us, right? The thicker your lenses are, the lenses of interpretation, the thicker they are, the more convoluted and the more smoky they are between you and the outside world. So, for example, I can only perceive you, Samuel, through my lenses. When I see you, hear you, if I was in the same room as you, when I can smell you, right? When I perceive you, all the data that comes from you to my understanding of who Samuel is goes through my lenses. It goes through my beliefs. It goes through my backgrounds, through my hang-ups, through my stuff. So my version of you is not the real you. It's Jem's version of you, which is different to others people. So the point I'm getting to is that the less resolved you are with your past, i.e. with yourself, the thicker the lenses between you and the outside world, the less clearly you see the outside world, the less clearly you see others, the less able you are to communicate clearly and truly understand other people. So the work has to start with you. It has to start with a process of self-okayness, radical self-acceptance, ironing out the creases from the past, coming to a place of clarity in here. Because when you have the clarity of mind, the clarity of self, then you can see others more clearly. Then you can connect more clearly. Your rapport, your compassion, your empathy is much more clear. Then you start to become a leader that is really effective with people, because that's what a leader is. A leader is about people. It's all about people. Sure, you have strategy and you have design and you have macro plans for the future and, yada, yada. That's fine. But all of the strategic planning in the world means nothing if you can't engage with humans and get them to be their best selves and let's go do this together, right? So it's really that human element that's the most important. If you haven't done the work on yourself, you're very limited in your ability to be able to connect and lead and inspire and motivate and all those things. So yes, I think it starts with self. Having said that, sorry, you've got me on a tangent. Having said that, if you are already in a leadership position, then obviously you can't just drop the tools and go, I'll be back. I'm going on a sabbatical. I'll be back in 6 months. I'm going to go and work on myself. So it needs to be concurrent, but we're clever. We're quite clever species. You can be doing the self-work and you can be still leading a team and, so you can be improving as you go. So that's the overarching kind of macro where we should start. The process I think that you were alluding to, which is in my book as well, I'm happy to talk to if you want to.
My name is Samuel Main, and I truly hope that you've got value from today's video. If you have, please do hit like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow.